If you're like me, you grew up, or perhaps your children grew up watching Disney movies, and they're all heartwarming, beloved tales. But I discovered something. If you watch these movies backwards, they are completely different. They become darker, different. For example, if you watch the movie Cinderella backwards, it becomes the story of a young lady who leaves behind a life of privilege to cook and clean for an ungrateful family. If you watch Sleeping Beauty backwards, it's about a young lady, a beautiful young lady, who gets a kiss so bad that she falls unconscious. Pinocchio, when watched backwards, becomes a dark tale about a creepy old man who turns a real boy into a wooden puppet just so he won't run away. We're considering the two movies from which our next songs are taken. Beauty and the Beast, when watched backwards, is the heartbreaking story of a young couple whose marriage falls to pieces when the husband's body hair grows uncontrollably. Or Mary Poppins. When watched backwards, it is the story of a magical lady who flies in on her umbrella and turns a perfectly happy family into a dysfunctional mess. Both of these songs that you'll hear next, taken from Beauty and the Beast and Mary Poppins, are award winners. Please enjoy them as performed by the LPS Guitar Ensemble. Thank you very much, Guitar Ensemble. One of my favorite parts about serving as a tutor here is that I get to teach in the classroom. And I'm always amazed by the deep, insightful questions that students will ask. I'm so amazed, in fact, that you could even say I'm inspired. And since I'm so inspired by them, I decided to ask you some deep, insightful questions of my own. If I aged myself, would I be twice as big or just disappear? At what age do you think it's appropriate to tell a highway that it's adopted? Are king-sized sheets called presidential-sized sheets in England? Why are there commercials for toilet paper? Is there someone who is not buying this stuff? If so, the question becomes a different one. How awkward was the first hug? Just hold me. That's about how I imagine it would have gone. And this is one that I was just told about recently. Pay attention carefully to this one. Is it crazy how saying sentences backwards creates backwards sentences saying how crazy it is? Now let me read that question backwards. Is it crazy how saying sentences backwards creates backwards sentences saying how crazy it is? Those are some tough questions, but rest assured, you don't have to answer any such tough questions as you listen to our next selections performed by the LPS Jazz Band. I hope you don't mind, but I was going to take this moment to write a few thank you notes. Thank you, ukuleles, for making me feel like a giant whenever I hold you. Thank you, pita bread, for being a perfect combination of wheat and an envelope. Thank you, Crest, noticeably light toothpaste, for both whitening my teeth and describing how I dance. There's a couple too many chuckles out there. Thanks, man. Thank you, peer pressure, for being totally not cool. Unless my friends like it, then it's pretty cool, I guess. Thank you, Subway Sandwich Shop, for making me feel like I've made a healthy choice, when really I've just ordered a foot of bread with 18 meatballs on it. Just one more. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you, tuba players, for being able to keep a straight face, despite the fact that you play an instrument that sounds like Andre the Giant breaking wind. And finally, thank thank you to the LPS String Ensemble for their next two songs, When She Loved Me from Toy Story 2 and Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid. have very famous and memorable lyrics. Our next song, however, has no lyrics. So to fill that void, we'll be taking a close look at the lyrics from another famous song. Perhaps you know it. It's called, and I believe I'm saying this correctly, Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. A scholarly analysis of his lyrics. It begins, Yo, VIP, let us kid. That seems like a nice way to start it. He's saying, you are very important. Let's begin. The next lyrics, though, all right, stop. Which is weird because we literally just began. But he has good advice. He says, collaborate and listen. Great advice, because if you're going to collaborate and work together, you kind of have to listen. But then it starts to get weird. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. I'm not even sure what that means, but something is clearly grabbing a hold of him day and night. Finally, to the extreme, I rock a knife like a vandal, light up the stage, and wax a chump like a candle. What more do you really have to say to understand that? That was Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. This is the LPS Percussion Ensemble performing a song from the Disney movie Tarzan. The scene from the movie Tarzan is when a bunch of gorillas stumble upon the intrepid explorer's camp, and they discover that by breaking things, they make many fun noises. This song was not, however, inspired by the boys in the dormitories here. Please enjoy Trash in the Camp by the LPS Percussion Ensemble. It is possible to have too much of a good thing. So to break up the monotony of all the Disney humor you've heard tonight, here is some non-Disney humor. I like swimming, but I think it's kind of a confusing sport because sometimes you swim for fun and sometimes you swim to not die. I like parties, but not piñatas, because piñatas promote violence against flamboyant animals. Hey, check out that donkey. It's got some pizzazz. Someone get me a stick. Just a friendly public service announcement for all the high school boys out there. Spraying yourself with cologne is not the same as showering. It is not a coincidence that cologne rhymes with alone. I love going to sports games, and I also love painting my chest and trying to get on the Jumbotron, but the sad truth is I don't have any friends, so I often go by myself. So to get around that problem, I just put punctuation on my chest, and I just jump in with other groups, so that the TV cameras will be scanning Lambeau Field, and it'll say, Packers? I love lollipops, except they're kind of weird because it's trash and candy. I don't need a handle, just give me the candy. I've noticed in my 2 years here that Luther Prep students have a strange definition of fashion. They often wear, get this, they often wear socks and sandals. Not like Wisconsin or on vacation in Florida would, but they wear socks with what they call slides. And I think that's important because when you get dressed in the morning, you're really predicting your behavior for the day. So by wearing sandals, they say, hope I don't get chased today. Be nice to people in sneakers. For our next song, we'll be hearing one of the hit songs from the movie of 2013, Disney's Frozen. This is probably the second most popular song. It's called Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Where Elsa, the main character's younger sister, Anna, sings this to her, as Elsa has locked herself away for fear that her out-of-control magic powers are doing more harm than good. Tonight it is sung by our very own Anna. We have LPS senior Anna Lindsay. As the song is being performed, there will be a free will offering gathered. Anything that you can contribute will go to support the band program here at Luther Prep. We thank you very much for your generosity. next song comes from a Disney Pixar short called Lava. Now, lava is the story of a volcano out in the middle of the sea. And as this volcano exists, he sees animals falling in love. He sings a sad yet happy song about how he wishes that he too had someone to love just like that. This song is featuring the brand new, the newest by far, musical group here at Luther Prep. It is the ukulele group. We also ask that after you hear the refrain the first time, feel free to join in on the subsequent repeats of the refrain.
Time ago, there was a volcano living all alone in the middle of the sea. He sat high above his bay, watching all the bubbles play, and wishing that he had someone to. And from his lover came this song of hope that he sang out loud every day for years and years. I have a dream I hope will come true, and you're here with me, and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth seen the sky up above will send me someone to love. Years of singing all alone turned his lava into stone until he was on the brink of extinction. But little did he know that living in the sea below another volcano was listening to his song. Every day she heard his tune, her love grew and grew because she believed his song was meant for her. Now she was so ready to meet him above the sea as he sang his song of hope for the last time. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you're here with me, and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth seen the sky up above will send me someone to love. Rising from the sea below stood a lovely volcano, looking all around, but she could not see him. He tried to sing to let her know that she was not there alone, but with no love his song was all gone. He filled the sea with his tears and watched his dreams disappear as she remembered that his song meant to her. I have a dream I hope will come true, that you're here with me, and I'm here with you. I wish that the earth seen the sky above will send me someone to love. Oh, they were so happy to finally meet above the sea. All together now, their love grew thank the earth, sea, and the sky, we thank too. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Thank you very much, ukulele group. A special thank you to our guest vocalist, Mr. Matthew Schultz. Part of my preparation for tonight involved some exhaustive research, in which I went around to the guys on my floor and asked them for their favorite Disney jokes. Here are the results. Why is Cinderella so bad at soccer? Because she always runs away from the ball. Thank you, room 110. Why is Peter Pan always flying? I'm hearing it. It's because he never lands. I love that joke. It never grows old. It has a nice hook to it, if you know what I mean. But some people don't get it, and frankly, it beats me how they don't get it. I'll stop. A Toy Story joke. Why did Woody give Bullseye some cough syrup? Because he was a little horse. Shameful. Why did Jasmine go to the fruit stand in the marketplace? She was looking for a date. I think that's a joke from a lonely guy on the floor. Lately, I've been really into singing songs from Frozen, and it's been annoying my wife. She said if I didn't stop, I'd have to sleep on the couch for a few nights. And I told her, let it go. Which, by the way, is the title of our next song, Let It Go, from Frozen, and also the Firebird Suite from Fantasia 2000, performed by the Symphonic Band. brass choir gets set, please enjoy a few more backwards movies. If you watch Titanic backwards, it's about a magical boat that saves people. If you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy backwards, it's about a small man who finds a cool ring in a volcano and then walks home. Probably could do that one adult movie. If you watch Godzilla backwards, it's about a giant lizard who helps rebuild a half-burnt-down city and then moonwalks into the ocean. If you watch the Twilight trilogy backwards, it's still really bad. That went on. That went better than I thought it would. And now, the brass choir is performing a song from Disney's Tarzan. It's called You'll Be in My Heart, which means, despite being written by Phil Collins, is actually a pretty awesome song. Presenting the world's funniest joke, as told by you. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson decide to go on a camping trip. After dinner, they lay down for the night and go to sleep. Some hours later, Holmes awakes and nudges awake his faithful friend. Watson, he says, look up at the sky and tell me what you see. Watson replies, I see millions of stars. What does that tell you? Watson pondered for a minute. Astronomically, it tells me there are millions of galaxies, potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, I observe that Saturn is in Leo. Horologically, I deduce that the time is approximately 3:15. Theologically, I can see that God is all-powerful, that we are small and insignificant, and meteorologically, I suspect that we will have a beautiful day tomorrow. Why? What does it tell you, Holmes? Holmes was silent for a moment, then said, Watson, you idiot. It means someone has stolen our tent. Joining the ukulele group as a first-time performer in an LPS band concert, I give you the senior handbells performing The Colors of the Wind from Disney's Pocahontas. It's been a great night so far, and as such, I thought it'd be nice to give out a few awards. Presenting the 2015 LPS Band Concert Awards. Receiving the Head in the Clouds Award, Professor Fieselhorst. Because he's about 8 feet tall. Our second award is actually a three-way tie. It goes to Andrew Schuler, Lydia Wilde, and Colin Maurice, who all, as you might have noticed, played bass. They get the Megan Trainor All About That Bass Award. The Fast and the Furious Award goes to Ali Fury. The Real Guitars Are Too Heavy Award goes to the Ukulele Group. The Best Bassoon Player, bassoonist, goes to Ella Snyder, who is the only bassoon player. The Worst Bassoon Player Award goes to Ella Snyder. The most scientific sounding last name goes to Dana Petri Dish. I've been informed that is actually not her last name. How do you say it? Dana Petri. We'll receive your award later. The most likely to be on the news someday award goes to Lane Korth. Not sure if that's a good or a bad award. The haha, you have a musical notation instead of a last name award goes to Matt Sharp. The Ralph Waldo Emerson Award goes to Vicki Emerson. No relation. The You Are Almost As Loud as the Students Who Live Directly Above My Living Room Award goes to the percussion sections. And the Your Last Name Can Totally Be a Movie Title Award goes to Malachi Speed Raceler. To conclude our concert, you have to ask yourself one question. Would it be a true concert without a march? And the answer is no. So to give you your march fix, we present a Disney march by the Symphonic Band.
Disney just about 24/7 as we have been for the last few weeks, but it's been a most enjoyable process. Partly because the music is wonderful, and partly because the kids are wonderful. It's truly a joy to work with them. And let's give them a round of applause because they're here to see. Someone told me you do the very best you can in the amount of time that you have, and that's what we do. It's just 2 rehearsals a week. Not everything is always perfect, but they play it with a lot of heart and spirit, and I'm very proud of them. I don't want to say thank you to too many people because there were so many people that helped out tonight, and I'm afraid I would forget someone. But first of all, not listed in the program, thanks again to Molly Hennig for her beginning of the concert, Mary Poppins. To the best sport, not to mention the hardest working person in the world, Professor Naomi Fritz, for her portrayal of Elsa in Let It Go. I'm even going to let her keep that costume if she wants it. We'll see, maybe church on Sunday or something. And I'm sure that you will agree with me, and you won't hurt my feelings at all, that having Pastor Chartrand as our MC was a much nicer experience than me at the microphone. Thank you so much for a most entertaining stuff in the room. We'll be back on campus again in a couple of weeks for our Christmas concert. Now that it looks like Christmas outside, I guess we can go ahead. But until then, we wish you a fond farewell with that iconic Disney song, When You Wish Upon a Star. coming. Have a safe trip home.